We'll call the Board of Commissioners meeting for December 31st to order at 10 o'clock. Those who are able, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, I see we do have some members of the public here who I also think might be elected officials at the same time. If any of you would like to approach the microphone and make any public comment, now would be a good time.
Good morning. I'm Donna Miller, Gregg Township Tax Collector and also President of the Center County Tax Collector Association. And these are the officers and another collector of the association and of the municipality. You did express to me the compensation increase that you are proposing, and on behalf of the tax collectors, I would like to express our appreciation for your consideration to our requests for this compensation adjustment. And as I understand, this adjustment pertains to 2025 going forward.
I believe so. That's correct, John?
Yes,
Yeah.
for the next couple years.
Yeah.
Okay. As we look to the upcoming term of office for 2026 through 2029, we would appreciate clarifying whether you will be signing a resolution to extend that adjustment for the new term of office on or before February 15th of 2025.
Yes, that's what would be required, so we'll follow the statute as to placing, doing that resolution.
Okay.
It will be proposed to the board for adoption.
Okay, thank you. I would like to note that this current increase that you're proposing, while appreciated, still falls short of the consumer price index since 2002. This discrepancy is particularly concerning as the expenses associated with operating a tax collector's office have risen in line with the consumer price index or cost of living. So as a leader of the association, my primary goal is to foster an environment where your collectors continue to serve with dedication and professionalism. Ensuring that their compensation reflects the increasing costs they face in their roles is key to sustaining this commitment to public service.
Oh, great. Thank you, Donna.
Thank you.
Appreciate those comments. Would anyone else like to speak? No? Very much appreciate everything you do for the county. I know it's been a long time since you've had even a small raise. I know in some townships, the number of parcels is pretty stable. I think in other townships and boroughs, the number have increased a little bit over that period. And I'll hand it over to Commissioner Concepcion if she has anything else she'd like to say.
Yeah, thanks for your service in doing this, and it certainly was time for an increase. So.
May I make a comment? Should I stand at the podium?
Okay, sure. We don't normally have double dipping on the public comments, but go ahead.
Oh, well, I did.
Yeah,
For some of those municipalities that have large growth,
yeah.
they have municipal offices with a collector within that office
All
who
right.
is an employee of that
Yes.
municipality. Many of us
Yeah.
in fact, all of us maintain our own office.
Yes. Thanks. Sorry about that. Commissioner Dershowitz, anything you'd like to add?
No, I think it's all said.
Uh-huh.
Appreciate you coming in this morning.
Great, thanks.
Okay, I would like to say
Oh,
something.
sure.
So just so that you're aware, in order for the tax collectors to put their petitions in to run, we need to have what the compensation would be from 26 going forward by February 15th of 25. So you would
Yes.
only technically have a couple more meetings in January to discuss whether or not you're going to increase that 50 cents again for us going forward in '26. So I just wanted to to emphasize that we need to have by February 15th, if you, I know that the assessment office and the tax claim has all the tax collectors' email addresses, so if you can please let us know before February 15th whether or not we are going to get a little bit more going forward.
All right, and your name and township, sorry.
Debbie Berger for Bellefonte Borough.
Great, thanks.
Are the jury commissioners up this year? I forget.
I think this
Yeah,
is
I
the
think
jury
so.
commissioner
It
year
may
in
not be the only
25.
elected officials that we need to take action on. So-
Well, and the DA as well, but I don't think we
Yeah,
can
we
take
don't-
action
we
on
don't-
that one.
That's
Yeah.
the statute.
Yeah,
Just so the board knows, the claim and collection office is well-versed in what is required by the February deadline, and we are actively working on that. So we will have something before you
Sounds good.
great.
for
Thanks, John.
consideration.
Thank
Sure.
you.
Yeah. Great. Any additional public comments? No? All right. Moving forward then, do we have any additions to the agenda for today from the commissioners? All right. If the board meeting minutes are okay, we'll take a motion.
I'll move to approve the minutes from the meetings held December 17th.
That was second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from the meetings held on December 17th. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. And now, at least from the commissioner's standpoint, something very exciting, the budget adoption here with a few hours to spare for 2025. Richard?
Yes. I'd like to extend our gratitude to the commissioners for their support throughout this year's budget process. This year included the implementation of a new countywide ERP software system. This initiative lays the foundation for improved future budgets and introduces hands-on reporting tools for management, such as dashboards. We also want to acknowledge the outstanding efforts of John and his administrative team, Aaron, Natalie, and Julia, the row officers, department managers, human service directors, the controller, and the other fiscal professionals. Thanks to their collaboration, we submitted a timely budget. This was truly a team effort. On December 23rd, we presented the 2025 proposed budget during a public meeting, delivering a detailed presentation and addressing several questions. Following the 20-day required public comment period, no changes were made to the budget amount. Today, we present a short summary of for your consideration. There's no real estate tax involved, and the rate remains at the 7.84 mils. The total budget of $135 million includes operating budget of $118.5 million and a capital plan of $16.5 million. And I'm open to additional questions as you consider the adoption of the 2025 budget.
Great. Well, Richard, thanks for introducing that. Passing the county budget on time is one of the major responsibilities of county commissioners in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and I'm glad to say that, to the best of my knowledge, this is our 225th budget that the commissioners in Center County have enacted, I believe, on time. And you did mention in your intro the huge amount of work from the fiscal staff, from all of the row officers, most especially including controller and treasurer, the administrative staff with John and everybody else on the team, the dozens and dozens of fiscal techs scattered throughout the county, service access and management, an outside contractor we use for some of our larger human service agencies, and the budget information we've received from roughly 100 human services nonprofits scattered throughout the county that do good work here in Center County every single day of the year. I appreciate especially your work because this was one of the harder budgets because we were transitioning to the new ERP system, but we weren't fully there. So I'm sure there were many long hours pounding out things manually in spreadsheets. Hopefully that's the last year we have to do that level of effort. So again, very much appreciate what everybody's done to get this budget across the finish line and have it be timely. I appreciate that. Commissioner Concepcion?
Yeah, thanks for all the work, and I think Commissioner Higgins really highlighted the team effort that goes into this, and really appreciate that we're able to pass another budget without a tax increase this year, and thinking about, we're using some general fund reserves to do that, but we are continuing to maintain a fund balance that is well within a healthy recommendation. So, going forward, we'll have to, think about some of the structural factors that are making county budgets really challenging. But, looks like a good effort for this year, and, we'll do our best next year as well, so.
Great, thank you, Commissioner Concepcion. Commissioner Dershowitz?
Again, I want to echo the sentiments that we really appreciate all the effort that your team and actually our staff put into it, and all the folks across the county, a number of department heads. and
Steve, your mic's not on.
We have a lot of folks in the room that depend on a strong structural budget, and I think this one is going to be a good one. There's always challenges, and those will continue to arise, and as we wrestle these alligators, we'll make sure that we get a satisfactory result. But we couldn't do it without the hard work of a lot of folks in this room that have made it all possible, and really appreciate it. So thank you.
Great, thank you, Commissioner Dershowitz. And for the folks at home, the commissioners do budget things like payroll very pessimistically. We also budget grants very pessimistically. So as Commissioner Dershowitz mentioned, we'll be wrestling those alligators for the next 12 months or so, and hopefully we can close the budget gap a bit before we hit the end of 2025. Yeah.
I want to add that a budget is not a final document. It is a guideline for us to move forward, but being able to find efficiencies and opportunities for savings and new revenue is really what makes a budget work. And just because it says you are going to spend X doesn't necessarily mean that it's always X. It can be, significantly less than that, and that's where we provide the savings. And how we've actually built the fund reserve that we have over the years is smart, not just smart budgeting, but smart administration of our finances. I just wanted to add that, so thank you.
Agreed.
And discipline, a lot of discipline.
Well, yeah, you gotta say no sometimes.
Yeah. Is there any public comment on the 2025 budget? All right. Seeing none, I think we could take a motion.
Then I'll move to adopt the 2025 county budget.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to adopt the 2025 county budget. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, nay. Motion carries. Now, Richard, I'm assuming you'll cover the resolution for the tax levy and rate as well?
Yes, as mentioned, it's not to change, remains the 7.84 of the assessed value, which is equal to 78 cents for every $100 of assessed value.
Based on the appraisal from, somebody correct me here, but I think it was
1994.
1994, 1995-ish?
Yes.
Yeah,
And it's present valued back always.
yes. So whatever your house was worth at that time is what you're paying the taxes on, and even if you build a new house, we base it roughly on what that home would have been valued at back in 1994. Which I think you're the only person at the table who was working for the county at that time. Or was that
No.
sort of, you were?
Not in 94.
Yeah, I don't-
Not in
I think that
95.
predates all of us.
Predates everybody. All right. Except maybe somebody toward the back of the room, but we won't call out names. All right. So I just mentioned again, a lot of hard work. We don't have final figures Commonwealth-wide, but it would appear that the majority of counties did increase property taxes this year, and at percentages of between 10% to 41%. With the American Rescue Plan funding disappearing, and the property taxes increase in most counties at either pretty close to zero or nowadays even a negative number, it's very, very difficult to keep up with things. Commissioner Concepcion, any comments?
Good.
All right, Commissioner Dershowitz.
Good.
All right, we'll take a motion then.
Wait, I think we have a, oh, okay, so it's for the resolution.
Resolution of
So I'll
20.
move to adopt Resolution 20 of 2024.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number 20 of 2024. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
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 Aye, opposed, nay. Motion carries. All right, now moving on to contracts and authorizations.
Thanks, Richard.
Thank you very much, Richard. Thanks. We'll kick it off with Norm from 911.
Good morning. Requesting approval of contract addendum with CWDG for the Red Hat server subscription extended life cycle support. This subscription provides access to security patches and updates once the server enters the end of maintenance phase. This will be a shared subscription with the Southern Alleghenies 911 Cooperative. Center County will pay upfront in full and will invoice the other 4 sharing counties their equal share. The contract addendum is $680 for the period of January 1 to December 31st, 2025.
That's a pretty reasonable amount, Norm.
Yes.
Very good. Commissioner Concepcion, anything?
Sounds good.
Steve? Commissioner Dershowitz?
I'm going to assume that we need that.
We'll rely on Norm for
The
that.
Red Hat Enterprise Linux Server Subscription Extended Life Cycle Support.
Yeah,
That's a handle.
it is.
The
And I'm sure-
IT folks say we need it, so.
All right.
So security patches are pretty critical for work like this. It needs to
Goodness,
go on
yes.
24/7.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, thank you.
Okay, so I'll move to add the contract addendum with CDWG LLC to next week's consent agenda.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to add the contract addendum with CDWG LLC to next week's consent agenda. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed nay. Motion carries. Great.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much, Norm. And now Jonathan has a capital project with the sheriff's office, and I think it involves more than just what's on the agenda.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Morning.
Morning.
Before you, for your consideration, is a CoStar's contract with Berkshire Systems Group Incorporated to install a fire alarm at the sheriff's office. The contract total is $134,838, and it includes a non-proprietary Siemens addressable fire alarm control panel, 1 annunciator panel, a cell dialer to communicate with the monitoring company, 42 smoke detectors, 2 heat detectors, a carbon monoxide detector, 7 wall-mounted pull stations, and 14 horns and strobes. Installation, programming, commissioning, and testing are all included in the proposal.
And I'm assuming this one's long overdue.
Correct. That
Yeah.
building has been without a fire alarm system for over 10 years.
All right. Commissioner Concepcion?
Yeah, well, I'm glad this is happening then.
Yes.
And so this is part of this larger project at the sheriff's office of doing some of the renovating with working on the
Correct.
HVAC
There is an
systems.
architect that is currently designing the second floor to renovate all of that space, and then this is a separate project from that.
But we're sure that this is, and I'm just verifying, I'm sure you're thinking about this already, but, that this is in line with the order of the way things need to
Correct.
occur. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, to fit in with the rest of that project.
Yes, the projects will likely occur at the same time.
Okay, great.
Commissioner Dershowitz?
Oh, I'm good. We need to do it, so.
Yeah, and with the cost of buildings nowadays, it's much, much cheaper to renovate generally than it is to build something new from scratch.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right.
Unless there's anything else, we'll take a motion.
I'll move to add the contract with Berkshire Systems Group, Inc. to next week's consent agenda.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to add the contract with Berkshire Systems Group, Inc. to next week's consent agenda. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed nay. Motion carries. Great. Thanks, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Now, moving on to John, he's got a 180-day extension for us.
Good morning, Commissioners. Before you for consideration is the approval of a 180-day extension of the payment in lieu of taxes agreement by and between Center County and Penn State University. As you know, Penn State and the county have a 20-year agreement that is coming to a close as of today. Negotiations have been ongoing with Penn State and have been very productive. However, the holidays came into play, and we just need a little bit more time to button things up, but we're confident that we can have a positive outcome for both parties here shortly after the first of the year.
Good, and hopefully in something maybe a little less than 180 days.
Oh, yes. Yep. That's being safe and just
Right.
Giving some cushion.
some cushion,
Yeah.
significant cushion.
Great.
Commissioner Concepcion, anything on that?
Sounds
Commissioner
good.
Dershowitz?
We've had a great working relationship with Penn State, and I want to thank John. I know he's, again, put a lot of work into this to make sure that we, you know, both parties here are being treated fairly. And, you know, as you will find later in the agreement, that we have a strong relationship with them. I mean, we work with them in so many different ways,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's very productive. And want
Yeah.
to keep that business relationship very, very well facilitated. So thank you for all your effort. Thank Penn State for their willingness to extend us so we can get this right.
Yeah, although there can be some downsides to having one of the world's best research universities located in your geography, there's a lot more pluses involved.
Yeah, I don't think you'd have a whole lot of people that would turn down if we wanted to move it.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think there'd be quite the line for that. So we very much appreciate our partnership with the university and look forward to taking care of this in less than 180 days.
Yep.
Great. Thanks for all your hard work on that, John. Steve was
Thank
right.
you.
This has been a massive amount of time, pretty much on your shoulders, from what I understand. 20-year agreements involving millions of dollars do require a lot of care and time.
Penn State's been great to work with.
Great. Thanks, John. All right, unless there's anything else, we'll take a motion.
Then I'll move to approve the 180-day extension of the pilot agreement with Penn State University.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the 180-day extension of the pilot agreement with Penn State University. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thanks, John. And I think I saw Krista come in from Risk Management.
Yes, good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
I'm here today to ask you to consider approving and signing a renewal application for our property casualty insurance company. Their policy with us runs from June of one year to the June of next year. And so in this midterm timeframe, we put together an application just reiterating the inventory of our vehicles, the tasers we have, the properties that we have, everything that they need to provide rates to us. So we've worked on that for the past couple weeks, and it is ready to submit, but we do want your approval. So that is what I'm asking for, the submission, to approve the submission of the renewal application to our county's insurance carrier, Pennsylvania County's Risk Pool, or we call it also PCOR.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Krista. I know nowadays, especially due to all the hurricanes they've been having, insurance rates are unbelievable, and in many cases, almost impossible to even get insurance anymore. So appreciate your work on this, and very much appreciate the Pennsylvania County's Risk Pool for being an affordable, good partner for us for our insurance needs, and obviously they understand what counties do.
Absolutely. Yeah, good words. I appreciate that.
Commissioner Concepcion, anything?
Agreed.
Commissioner Dershowitz?
And P Corp's been a great partner in a lot of other ways, in that, you know, they do provide us with grants for safety
Yes,
upgrades
right.
and facility improvements that make sense and not only protect our interests, but also protect the interest of the risk pool, so.
Yes, and they do great trainings.
And I
too.
believe
Yep.
you do still sit on that board?
I do.
So you
I
have
do.
an inside look at what's going on?
Yes.
So we appreciate that, your participation and
Thank
knowing
you.
what's going on statewide. So, thank you.
Sure.
Actually, I was reviewing another county's budget, and they have something like 122 buildings, obviously a bigger county than ours, but can't imagine what their risk manager has to go through
Right.
to even handle insurance on 122 buildings.
Yes, they need a team.
Yes, yeah. Great, well, unless there's anything else, I think we can take a motion.
I'll move to approve the submission of a renewal application to the county's insurance carrier, the Pennsylvania County's Risk Pool.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the submission of a renewal agreement to the county's insurance carrier, the Pennsylvania County's Risk Pool. All those in favor do so by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Great. Thank you very much, Krista.
Thank you, and I'll be back in May to discuss what the renewal price is.
All right.
All right,
Well,
thank you.
I'm sure it'll be increased, but hopefully not one that's too bad. All right, thanks. Now we move on to Human Services, and Julia has something from our Super Department, Mental Health, Intellectual Disability, Early Intervention, Drug, and Alcohol.
I do. Good morning.
Morning.
I'm asking you to consider approval of a contract with the Bound Health PA. So this contract is a result of a Bound Health PA acquiring Care for People Plus, who we already had a contract with for these exact same services. So as a result of the one corporation overtaking the other one, we have to have a new contract. So this is the exact same services that Care for People Plus provided to our county. The contract total is $60,280.
All right, and as, I remember, I think Care for People Plus is in Bellefonte, possibly in Allegheny Street?
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, so, all right, we've got a local company that's been acquired by a larger organization, and we just need to update the paperwork then.
Yes, and the
Okay.
majority of clients who had had services with Care for People Plus had the option of either going with Abound Health or a different organization, and they've chosen to stay
All right.
with Abound.
Great. Commissioner Concepcion, any comments or questions?
Yeah, no, so do you think it'll be primarily the same staff working locally then?
That's my
Yeah.
understanding, yeah, that they've just kind of new management.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks.
All right, Commissioner Dershowitz?
Nope, I'm good to go.
All right, we can take a motion then.
I will move to add the contract with Abound Health PA LLC to next week's consent agenda.
I will second it.
We have a motion, a second, to add the contract with Abound Health PA LLC to next week's consent agenda. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, nay. Motion carries. Great. Thanks, Julia. And now Dave from Transportation has something that involves Penn State.
Hi, good morning. Thank
Morning.
you. Yes, I come and ask the board to consider approving an in-kind purchase of a vehicle from Penn State. It's a 2018 Ford Explorer Police Interceptor that's available for us to be used in our business fleet. Total cost, including the fee, would be $12,182.50, and we can certainly use it in our business fleet.
Yeah, that sounds great, Dave. Sounds like something we could use for sheriffs or probation
Yep.
or some of our
Yep,
other
we
similar
have
departments.
an earmarked place for it, probably probation.
All right.
But we're certainly, it's nice to be able to upgrade their fleet and keep them in good operational and running vehicles, yes.
Great. Very much appreciate our partnership with Penn State for
Most
that.
definitely, yes, we do.
Commissioner Concepcion?
Yeah, sounds like a good opportunity for the
Yep.
kind of vehicle that doesn't always come along.
No, exactly, yes.
Commissioner Dershowitz?
No, I'm good, good. Sounds like a great purchase, so
Yes.
thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. We'll take a motion
Then
now.
I'll move to approve the in-kind purchase from Penn State University.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the in-kind purchase from Penn State University. All those in favor do so by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. We have kind of a medium-length consent agenda. Unless there's anything else on that, I think we can take a motion.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve today's consent agenda. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. All right, now we have a long list of authorities, boards, and commissions. We do a lot of changing in and out, people who are not looking at being appointed, or perhaps persons who have served on the board for a long time and kind of switch them out to get a new perspective. But anybody who's interested, the county itself has boards requiring hundreds of citizens to volunteer a couple hours a month. All 35 municipalities, additionally, have at least a handful of boards requiring anywhere from dozens to hundreds of additional citizens to serve on a broad variety of advisory and policymaking boards. So those of you at home who have an interest in practically anything, I bet you there's a board somewhere at a local municipality or the county that you might enjoy serving on for a couple hours a week, and we very much appreciate the advice and perspectives. So, big breath here. We're starting with Thomas Bolden and the Ag Land Preservation Board, appointment to chair for the upcoming year. Patrick Leary for the Center County Recycling and Refuse Authority, an appointment for the upcoming year. Danny Hameister, Center County Recycling and Refuse Authority, reappointment from 25 to 29. Richard, is that Stayhauer? That's my best guess, anyway. Center County Refuse and Recycling Authority, reappointment 25 to 29. Mark Henry, Center County Recycling and Refuse Authority, resignation, served from 21 to 24. Appreciate your assistance. Carrie Miller, appointment to the CEDACOG Joint Rail Authority, from 25 to 29. John Spahalski, CEDACOG Joint Rail Authority, term expiration from 20 to 24. John is somewhat of a international legend in transportation, and we very much appreciate his service over, I believe, a couple of decades in the county for CEDACOG Joint Rail Authority, CATA, and a number of others. Lisa Strickland, reappointment to the CEDACOG Board of Directors for 2025. Mark Higgins, reappointment to the CEDACOG Board of Directors for 2025. Dana Gordon to the Center County Industrial Development Authority, appointment from 25 to 29. Sherry Davidson, I don't believe she's a relation to Joe. Center County Industrial Development Authority, appointment from 25 to 29. Elizabeth Hay, Center County Industrial Development Authority, appointment from 25 to 29. Kevin McGarry, Center County Industrial Development Authority and Center County General Authority, term expiration from 20 to 24. Michael Coyle, the same. John Infield, the same. We appreciate these three gentlemen serving on those boards. They, I think, have served in between 4 to 10 years on those boards, and that is an authority the county created a number of years ago that can loan up to $20 million at municipal rates for major projects in Center County. We do require banking level security on that, though, so we need to have things like real estate, buildings, or easily saleable industrial equipment involved. But if we have business people or entrepreneurs out there who'd like to borrow money at several percentage points lower than current market, we are very interested in talking with you. We have Deborah Simonchek for the Planning Commission, reappointment from 25 to 28. Andrea Pandolfi, reappointment to the Planning Commission, 25 to 28. Jill Lilly, Aging Advisory Council, reappointment from 25 to 27. There's still more. Lisa Behrens, Aging Advisory Council. I'm just going to do all the Aging Advisory Councils as a group here. We have, reappointments to Aging Advisory Council for Lisa Behrens, Susan Babcock Hoover, Constance Martin, Matthew Fenton are reappointments. We have a Joyce White, who is resigning from the Aging Advisory Council, served from 23 to 24. We thank her for her service. We have Judy Loy being reappointed to the Hospital Authority from 25 to 29. And Richard Frank, an appointment to the Universal Construction Code. I'm assuming that's not a council, it's like maybe a board, it's a regular board, Universal Construction Code Board, reappointment 25 to 28. I think that's one of our larger reappointments that I've seen over the last 9 years. Again, thanks everyone for serving, always looking for additional people. Please contact, I believe it's poor Aaron, right? In the Commissioner's office, if you're interested in serving on one of our couple of dozen boards. Commissioner Concepcion, anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, just thanks for everyone who has served and is putting it, expressed their willingness to serve. I know these can be thankless jobs, but it's a great way to contribute to your community. I think we may still have a few positions open on various things that we will be
A couple at
appointing
least,
for.
I think, yeah.
So it's worth it for anyone who's interested to get in touch with Aaron in our office if you're interested in serving on any of the ABCs for the county.
Great, thanks, Commissioner Dershowitz.
Thank you for everybody who has served and continues to serve and will serve. I will tell you that I have a little bit of heartburn over the Center County Industrial Development Authority appointments. I was hoping that we would reappoint the three gentlemen that currently serve. I have no issue with their replacement folks here, but I wish there would have been an opportunity for us to continue the service of these three individuals.
Sure.
So in that regard, I will probably be casting a no vote for the
All right.
the appointments of those positions. So,
Okay,
Okay.
all right. Well, unless there's anything else, we could take a motion.
Then I'll move to approve the ABC appointments, reappointments, term expirations, and resignations.
I'll second the motion. All those in favor of approving the ABC appointments, reappointments, term expirations, and resignations, do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay.
aye.
Motion carries. We have approved a large number of people for the boards and thank those who have also served. And again, looking for at least a handful of additional people for a broad variety of other boards that have openings. We'll move on to the check run now with Commissioner Concepcion.
Okay, so for today's check run, with the end of the year, it's primarily some utility payments. It's a fairly small check run for us this time. With that, I'll move that we approve the check run dated December 27th, 2024.
I will second it.
We have a motion and a second to approve the check run dated December 27th. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Now, John, do we have an administrator's report today?
Nothing to report at this time.
Okay. Moving on to our reports and announcements, do we have a voter registration report, Amber?
We do.
Okay.
Yeah. So this report includes, there are many inactive voters who were removed at the end of this year. If they have not voted in 2 federal elections, is the reason why someone would be removed. And to be sure, they have been sent notices on several occasions before this removal occurs. So they have, these are folks who have not responded, neither voted nor responded to notifications. So with that, our total number of voters on report this time is 101,700. That is an 8,376 voter difference since the last report. Of those, 8,257 were those inactive voters who were removed. So going through the major party numbers, for the Democratic Party, we have 41,393. Green Party, 157. Libertarian Party, 558. Those with no affiliation, 15,460. Republican Party, 42,095. And then all of the other minor parties come up to 1,096 registered voters, bringing us to that total of 101,700. And if anybody has any questions about that process, feel free to contact our
Just want to
elections
double
office.
check, Amber,
So-
it's only 1,096 others?
Yes.
That's a huge drop in the
So
others,
that
too.
must have been, there must have been quite a few of those that were inactive.
All right.
Yeah, I would assume,
Yeah.
yeah. I'd have to look back at the last report to compare those numbers, but that is a big jump in the number of minor parties.
Yeah.
Or maybe a big decrease in the
Yeah.
number of minor parties. So our party of the week this week, the American Independent Party, has 2 registered voters. Moving on to our precinct of the week, we're looking at precinct 80, Spring Township West. There are 692 registered voters on the rolls there. They had a voter turnout of 79.3% in the last election. They vote.
Very solid.
Yeah, very high turnouts this past election. They vote at the election house at 198
yes.
Lower Colville Road, which is a bit of a historical anomaly or artifact here in Center County. We have a few election houses that remain as the sole, use that they have is for voting, that are owned by the county. So this is one of those. And that's our precinct of the week and the voter report. So.
Great, thanks, Amber. Center County government offices will be closed on Wednesday, January 1st in observance of New Year's Day, which is tomorrow, but I'm sure everybody knew that. Any executive sessions to report or to hold, John?
None to report. However, the board did meet on December 19th from 11:33 a.m. to 12:23 p.m. to discuss personnel matters.
All right, and then the remainder of our public meeting schedule. We have a Board of Commissioners meeting on Tuesday, January 7th at 10. And then on Thursday, the 9th, we have a Board of Commissioner and Salary Board meeting combined at 10 a.m. Don't see any press here, so I believe we could take a motion to adjourn.
I'll move to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor of adjourning at 10:40, do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, nay. Motion carries. Great. Thanks, everyone, for coming.
Thank you.